But it's just like, when I think about it myself, like living in Wolverhampton for the past few years, you know, kind of going into manifestation, like, you know, I've lived here fucking 1997 all the way through, you know, the schools, Coldthorne Park, Kingston, Springdale, Highfields, New Park, Warfren, Juniper, you know, Firewalker, you know, these facilities looking at me the way they did, saying, what you want, it's not here. And you got to look at that and take it with a grain of salt and say, okay, there's nothing for me here, what do I do? And I think when I look at the word manifestation, you know, I kind of compare two words. I compare two words, which is manifestation and marinating, because you could be in those situations like I have, right? You could be in those situations and say, I can sit at home or be in a dark place and marinate over this situation, or I could just manifest and say, this place doesn't offer what I want. And I think that's something for me that's the start of my journey, because when I took this leap, when I like, obviously it was 2 years after, you know, my gran passed, right? 2011, 2013, I got put back in the system, which was Firewalker, and then I kind of came out of that in 2017, 2018. I wasted a whole year dwelling on what happened, knowing that, you know, there's no going back. There was no going back. there was no going back, guys. You know, 2017, I got banned from a facility, you know, a club. I couldn't train, right? I couldn't train there. So I left there, like, you know, whole year wasted. 2019, Juniper, same thing there, bro. Like, wasted the time. And I'm just like, you know, I don't talk about time because that's time being wasted. You know, I look back at these videos that I recorded, these tapes, and I have to get rid of them. I have to, because I can't go into, you know, I have to shake it because I can't see. I have to go into this sort of, this whole new mindset now, going into 2023, 2024, 2025, and set myself a list of goals, right? It's not, where do I see myself in 10 years? Where do I see myself in 3 years? Do I see myself in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? At least 5 years, saying, I stayed here, I marinated again, I was in my comfort zone. It's like, you look at these other people, you look at guys like Splinta, or you look at guys like J.V, Wavy Hex, Devilman, Socks Invasion, all these other man, like these bro man, you know, even man that lost their friends in this society, in this war. And you say, if they manifested and made music and kept on it, not saying that, you know, I do make freestyles, but I'm not a musician, like, you know, like that. I can do it, right? And I would love to cook up a banger with somebody. I would love to do it, right? You know, but when it comes to my favorite musicians, Jay Reed's just there, bro. He's just like the guy from Nottingham. He's one of my favorite musicians. Supporting Splinter for years, but like one of my favorites. But, you know, if they manifested, you know, and made that happen, then you just have to look at yourself and say, if I want that, or for myself, I know what I have to do. I have to take that risk, because everything in life comes at risk. And, you know, one day you're gonna be at that place of, you know, saying that, oh, when I look back, you know, I wish I'd have done that. But you see, I've never been that guy. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, if I hadn't gone to Firewalker, you know, none of that would have happened. Like, it happened. They looked at me, they told me there's nothing for me there, and I kept talking about it. Even right now, you know, people be like, why are you talking about that? Why are you talking about that? Like, just don't say their name, just don't mention them, don't talk about them. And I'm just there like, I said it, didn't I dropped my foot in it. I shouldn't have, but yeah. So we gotta do it, man. We gotta do it. We gotta manifest into 2023, because, you know, moving independently, leaving Wolves, you know, just everything behind. Like, this is it for me now, bro. Like, once I make this decision, there's no going back, and there really isn't, because I ain't coming back to Wolves. I ain't coming back to this place, this mindset, this, you know, comfort zone, whatever you want to call it. I'm just done with it, mate. You know, these guys are out here, they got a lot of people to, you know, pay homage to and be grateful for, and say they owe a lot of, you know, their themselves to them. And I can't sit there and say that I owe anything to these people other than the fact that I got excluded. So I have to say that that's a big part of this step, that's a big part of my elevation.
Most artists think it's easy to make music, right?
and I look at certain artists, my favorite artist is Splinta, right? Because when I think of this brother, right, it's one of my brothers, right? Because I supported New Camp since 2014, right? Properly when grime was massive back then. I like his music, and when I watch his interviews, right, or he's just talking and always his rap freestyles, right. What I find inspiring about him is this guy can just sit there and you just genuinely feel this guy manifested. This guy properly put the work in at a very young age, right? And that's the massive difference between a guy like that and other artists, because other artists can manifest and aim high and make music, but like when I think about this guy, when his music hits me hard, bro. Like this guy properly, like no, I don't talk about many artists, right? I've come across many, but like when I look at it, it's like who levels Splinta? And like I'm asking that question because I could say JB, but like I'm saying like or Hex or whatever, but like I'm saying like respectfully, like I'm saying like an artist that thinks and makes videos the way he does. Like when you look at other artists, you say grime is gone or it's dead or whatever, but then you kind of put on a Splinta video that is the most recent thing and you're like, it ain't gone, bro. He's still here making music like that. Like, to him, the culture, it's just carrying it. So what I'm trying to say is most man, they come into the scene and they make videos, or they do it and they don't pursue it fully just because they never were about that. But the massive difference is he's still carrying it in his videos, and I respect that. I respect him fully, and if I had one dream collab or I ever wanted to meet an artist, it would be him, bro. Genuinely, honestly, I just respect a lot of respect for this guy.